I'm Abby.
And I'm Anna.
And this is Serious Beef.
Welcome.
Olivia? I'm going to have to ask that you move closer to you.
I do like to yap.
I like to yap.
We all like to yap.
I do like to yap.
Yep, just yap a little too much, unfortunately, gets me in trouble.
Well, today is a goodie. I have no idea.
I
say that. I always
we say that about
I feel
everything.
like people are like, "Oh, we got a good episode for you today." I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
This could be terrible.
This whole thing may be terrible. You just have to let us know, listeners. We don't know.
We don't know. I did hear that our episode that we bounced around more than we jumped around more than a bouncy ball at a trampoline park. I heard that one. Some people got kicked out of some of those stories. So
Okay, good.
the monkey one cracks people up.
The monkey was pretty funny.
Thank God for my history lesson. Okay, so what's our beef? Let's see.
What's the beef?
There's not enough time in the day.
Legit.
I'm exhausted.
There's not enough time in the day. I feel that.
We're finally trying to get caught up on the podcast after taking so many weeks off. Like I think on the last episode we talked about how absolute slammed we were with the surgery and the bed bug incident, and then Grandpa being in the hospital and everything like that. That's like, I was genuinely, I think at some point last week, I was like, thank God we recorded like 4 episodes in advance because I needed every single one of them.
Yeah.
Because the episode, I think it was 32 that went up this past week, was the last one I had in store before you had the surgery.
Yeah.
And I've needed the last 3 weeks just to handle everything else that we would never have had time to record a podcast.
No, we wouldn't have. Plus, I was like,
you were tired.
No, I needed more time than I thought I would for recovery. I had delusions of grandeur. Really, I thought I would just be like,
if it had been outpatient, you would have been fine.
I would have probably been fine.
But
I'm also very I'm very determined to, I can't stand to just be in the hospital. I want to be home so bad. So
you're actually a pretty quick healer.
I push myself and I get myself up and going, and so I did. I think I did great, but the older I get, the harder this gets. So I will say that too. But yeah, I bounce back. I'm all right. But there is not enough time in general, period, ever, right, for anything. And,
no. I need more hours.
Yeah. So your grandpa we did talk about this, your grandpa is home from the hospital.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, while we're still on the not enough time of the day, real quick.
Oh, go
quick before
yeah.
we talk about grandpa. We're going to tell some good grandpa stories, some good Larry stories.
Okay.
But do you remember us doing the episode that we talked about, and not to be honest, we haven't been doing this podcast yet a year, but it feels like forever ago when I say like the old episodes and whatnot.
Right, it does.
But we had the episode that we talked about the notes app on women's phones.
Yes.
Because so many of the notes are absolutely out there, and we talked about that.
They're hilarious, yes. What we have in our notes app, because we got a lot of stuff on our mind.
It's true. Listener Brittany, who's been brought up in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
She's so entwined in our lives now.
It's true, yes.
But listener Brittany had actually sent me a thing that she's got in her notes.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, we're going to have to bring this up on the podcast. I'm going to have to mention this. Okay. So she had basically a would you rather, but it's like a superpower kind of question.
Oh.
Okay. So, would you rather be able to stop time for as long as you like, but if you sleep, time starts? During that time, you still get tired, and you still feel like a progression of time is occurring, though time is not actually passing. It feels like time is passing, but it's not.
But you've stopped it, okay.
Right. Or would you rather never get tired? You never need to sleep. You still only have your basic 24 hours in a day, but you never need to sleep.
How many times, question.
Okay.
About the first one.
So
how many times can you stop time?
You can stop it as many times as you want.
Okay.
It's just a matter that as soon as you sleep, it
starts again. But then when you wake up, you could stop it again.
I don't know, man. I mean, I like to sleep though.
That's the thing.
Sleep is
my
my getaway.
Well, and my thing is that I said though, because Brittany and I talked about this.
Okay.
Right. I was like, well, if I stop time, can I still use the internet? Because now signals cannot be sent and received by satellites. So if time is stopped, am I cut off? Because I'm not going to be able to get much done. You know what I mean?
I guess, I don't know. Is the signal cut off because you've stopped time? Not necessarily. How do you know it's stopped?
Well, because in theory, stuff is not passing there and back, right? Like TV programs wouldn't keep running, right?
I don't know.
So
These
that's
are all
the
good
question.
questions.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know.
So that's what
But
I'm
if you
like,
wanted to just stop time in order to go somewhere, see someone, spend time with someone, like, are they...
also stopped, or can you
Is
choose
everyone
to like
frozen in place?
That's
Or is
what
it
I
just...
assumed it
Or
was.
you've just frozen time for time being, but everybody's still, like...
oh, everything's going on, but just like
Cognitive.
time isn't progressing, you mean?
Right.
I think it's I think
That's
that
what I
it's
would want it to
everything's
be.
paused is what I think it is.
So then that's no good. That doesn't help me.
Well, it gives you more time to do things.
That doesn't give me more time to spend with someone.
Correct.
That's
True.
what I would want.
Well, neither
Right?
of these really help you there because the other option is that you can stay up. You never need to sleep.
Well, then maybe I would choose that one because if I don't need to sleep, then I can get things done
Right in the middle of the night.
in the
But
middle
I
of the
can
night.
go see
But
people during the day.
and then I would have time to
True.
see people
True.
that I want to see.
I'll be honest. That's the one I went with at the end of our conversation. Was that one because we had said either the rules are loosey goosey for both, or it's very strict for both. Because I was like, is it that I don't need to sleep or that I can't sleep?
Because that's terrible.
Right.
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, because like it would be a you don't need to, but also you can't be put to sleep. And I was like, well, that's an issue because what if I need a surgery?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Right.
Because I'll tell you
And
what.
then I said, well, I guess I get a nerve block.
You'd have to, but not because I have this weird tendency to wake up during surgery, and not surgery so much. If they intubate me and put the tube down your throat and they breathe for you in the hole, you're deep under. I don't wake up during that.
Typically.
But when they put me to sleep for little procedures like colonoscopies and
You tend to wake up
couple
sometimes.
then I wake up. Okay.
And Papa's like
I wake
that
up
too.
every time. Yeah, my father's the same way. Like I woke up when they put my port in or took my port out. I can't remember which for you put a portacath in for like when you have cancer and stuff. So I woke up in the middle of the surgery and I've got this big like
It's in your chest, right?
it's
Like
right
it's up in your
here
shoulder.
near my left shoulder. I have this big like covering over my face, so I can't see what's going on. It's like a little tent over my head, right? And I hear them talking about that somebody was getting ready to go on vacation and they were going to Vegas. So the nurses and the doctor, they're all having this conversation while they're doing this surgery, right? I chimed in on the conversation and said, oh, Vegas is so much fun. I honeymooned in Vegas. And then it's silent.
Yeah.
They all freeze because they're like, oh, shit, she's awake.
Yeah.
And I can imagine them frantically motioning to the anesthesiologist, like, put her under, put her under.
Yeah.
And then I went right back to
oh, that's
sleep.
great.
Yeah. Somebody give me the forget me stick.
Yeah.
Fulk.
You don't forget me stick.
I woke up when I was doing foot surgery, and I was awake, and I remember my eyes were closed, and I felt them cut my foot. And I said, I felt that. And then I heard the guy go, oh my God. And then boom, I was back under.
Back under.
So I woke up during my first colonoscopy. I remember seeing the screen, like a TV screen. And I'm like, and I go, huh. And then they put me right back under. So, that little light anesthesia stuff, that shit don't work on me too good. I wake up too much. Mm-hmm. So maybe you don't want the one where you can't be put to sleep. I don't think you want that.
Well, that's what I said. So we said that if it's a little loosey-goosey on that you can be put to sleep, you just don't need to, then the internet can work while you pause
that's
time.
the one. Yeah, that's the one you want. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
So that's what I said. We're like, either it's super strict for both. And I said, now here's the thing, though. You could always get a nerve block, but that's not going to help you for, like, say, a brain surgery.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? The way I look at it, if this is an imaginary thing that we can make the rules. I make the rules. I make the decisions.
With the whole sleeping thing. Okay. Now, so I said I'd rather be awake all the whole time. You know what I mean? Because I was like, realistically, I think that if I just didn't need to sleep, I would be okay. Because then I wouldn't be tired. And I feel like I'd be more efficient when I am awake, too. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, if I'm trying to work on stuff, I'm like, oh my God, it's like, I'm exhausted. Like, I know that if I got up at 7 a.m, I could work on things or whatever, but I'm so tired
for sure.
that I'm not working effectively. If I'm never tired,
then
I can do that.
Can you imagine how productive you can be?
That's what I'm saying.
That would be something
So
else.
I think that's what I would prefer.
I've always wanted to. You ever heard that song where it's like, there's a line in a song, it's like, if I could save time in a bottle. When my brother was sick, I remember thinking about that song. It's like, wouldn't it be cool if you could throw some, save some time there and then you can add it on?
Right.
and just add it on, you know.
Yeah.
That, or the older I get too, sometimes I stop and I think like, man, I wish I could like turn a dial and just rewind.
Yeah.
Like
Relive.
I would go back and do my 20s again and do my have you guys as my babies. Like I miss the baby time.
Not like kind of completely relive it. Like
Yeah,
just
because I'm not
start
going back
over.
through high school.
I'm talking like I would say like not just time and bottle, but like put my memories.
Oh,
Okay,
so
I
could
was
relive
going
that.
there.
Yes.
There's
There
I
you
think
go.
there's a
I
book.
can't remember a lot of stuff.
I agree.
And I was like, if I
agree.
could just look back into my own brain to see my own.
Yes. Do
I
the
think-
Harry Potter thing where you pull the
Yeah.
memories out and put it in the little pensieve. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that there's a book or a movie that has a concept that's like that you can go wherever and you can relive memories kind of
that's
thing.
really cool.
And I don't remember the I don't remember
But
what book
that
it
would
is,
be
but
cool.
yeah.
That would be cool.
So, well, but anyway, our listener Brittany, when we were talking about this, had mentioned a thing because I said like, okay, well, I think I'd rather have the 24 hours so I don't need to sleep.
Okay.
And she goes, well, you'll get short.
You'll
tells
get
me-
shorter?
That's what
You'll
she
shrink
tells me.
in
And I'm
height?
like, what are you talking about? She's like, when we lay down and sleep, gravity no longer is pulling down your body, so you stretch back to your normal height.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like,
your muscles relax.
I'm like,
so your body
excuse
kind
me?
of lengthens.
And I had to do
Is
a
that and
fact
that's
check.
legit?
This is from NASA officially, so a good source
Okay.
in my opinion. This is what is your space height is how this article starts out, and it says, did you know that our height changes throughout the day? In fact, our height changes from morning to night. It really has very little to do with the sun and the moon, though. Instead, our height becomes less. Yes, we shrink. Mm-hmm. We shrink as the day goes on because gravity compresses our bodies. And when we lay down at night, gravity no longer pulls in a direction to make us shorter, so our bodies stretch and return to our taller height. Imagine what happens to astronauts who do not experience the effect of gravity for months at a time. They grow taller. In fact, NASA astronaut and Mission X ambassador Kate Rubins grew from her Earth height of 171 centimeters to her space height of 174.4 centimeters.
Well, she got 4 centimeters on her.
Yes. So she went 171, which is approximately 5'7", and she grew to 174.4. She would have grown to just about 5'9".
What?
She grew 2 whole inches.
That I need to go to space. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the older you get, you also, I guess just the number of years that you have spent on Earth, you shrink. Okay, because I am definitely feel shorter.
You do as you get older.
Yeah, my dad has 100% shrunk. Like I know he
And
has.
part of that's gravity.
The gravity of just some
Of
of the years.
the gravity of the situation. Is what it is.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yep.
true. Oh my gosh.
I'm looking. Well, I want to. How do I calculate my space height? It's approximately 3% difference from morning to night. You'll shrink 3%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's right.
Crazy.
You're right. If you never lay down,
I
and
thought that she
relax
was
and
bullshitting
sleep,
me, and I
you're
looked it
gonna
up.
shrink.
Oh.
Well, you can still relax. You can still lay down and relax.
Yeah.
You could read a book. You could do stuff and let yourself not shrink. So there's a workaround. There's a workaround there.
Wait a minute.
That's crazy.
Well, how long
Schmetz.
did she say that she was in space that she grew from 171 to 174
Right, how long?
centimeters?
I think they said 4 to 6 months she was in space.
Because just add 3 centimeters to your height to see what your space is.
Right.
Some changed more, some changed less, but it's about 3%.
Are you like
Here you go.
5'7"?
I'm 5. I'm like 5'8".
Girl, if you were 5'8", you'd be the same height as me. Come on.
I need a calculator.
Probably 5'7 3/4.
Yeah, I was like, just calculate that in inches, then convert it to centimeters, and then take,
Okay.
3% off of that.
In my space height, I'm just doing the thing. I would grow probably approximately 2 inches in space. How tall are you, Olivia?
I'm 5'8".
You would also grow approximately 2 inches. How tall are you?
Oh.
5'4.
Okay.
Viewers, if you couldn't tell, she just snarl.
I'm very angry about my
You
short
would
height.
grow about 1.92 inches.
Don't even get the full
So
2
you
inches.
would get to about 5'5". Well, you get pretty daggum close to 5'6".
Almost get to. Yeah.
Almost average.
It's 1.92. So
Pretty.
Yeah.
5'4" is actually
So-
already average height.
yeah,
wow.
so you can
Okay.
you can
It's
calculate.
actually shorter than me.
It's true. You can calculate how much you would grow in space. It's about 3%, and it's not an exact science. They say because
Well,
some
sure.
grow more, some grow less.
Everything's
But-
different for everybody. Yeah. So
Yep,
I
it's
get
about
it.
it's about 3%.
So who knew? Who knew? That is an interesting fact.
Yep. And it's
I had
because
no
it's
idea.
their extended time in space means that they get to they keep it a little bit more, just because then it's going to take time for gravity kind of.
Well, sure.
Or
Shrink
10,
them back
yeah.
down. Yeah.
So anyway,
All right. Well,
well, I looked up to keep in the vein of the superpowers real quick. We haven't done a zodiac in a bit, so I looked up a thing to do. What's your superpower
okay.
based on your zodiac?
Okay. I
sign.
know which one I want. Let's hear it.
All right, here we go. So, up first, we got Aries. Aries. This is coming from westwoodhorizon.com.
I'll give him credit. Okay.
Right, Aries. Super strength.
Super strength.
Aries want to get everything done, and in a superhuman world, the strength of their muscles would match that of their determination. Their dynamic energy complements their need to show off and be in charge. However, Aries would need to restrict themselves as their hot-headedness may tempt them to use their strength for violence or evil.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Wow. Okay, that took a turn there.
I know,
Keep it
I
cool.
know.
Keep it cool, Aries.
All right. Taurus, atmokinesis. That's you can control the weather.
Oh,
Like storm.
Okay, like storm.
Yep.
Yeah, she's badass.
Okay.
Taurus are very smart and realistic. The most efficient way to take control and shift everyone's mood is a sudden thunderstorm or a surprise rainbow. They value stability and convenience. If they control the weather, they would likely make it very mellow and beautiful every day, seldom using their powers for harm.
Oh, nice.
No, I tell you what, that's what
Good
I would
on you,
do.
Taurus.
It's that time in between winter and spring. I want it to be nice outside, but I
That,
want
that
that,
time
breeze.
between winter and spring? You mean the fall?
winter and spring.
Yep. I said
Between
what I
fall
said.
and winter, or between winter and spring.
I know
Like-
that I fucked it up. I said what I said.
I want it to be like 70s all the time.
I want it to be fall weather. We're finally getting into fall weather.
Yes, maybe. I just saw a thing that said
By the time this comes out, we better be in fall weather.
said people who like fall weather will be disappointed with this fall, and I was like, I'm gonna murder someone.
Gemini. Shapeshifting.
Oh,
Geminis are known for being changeable, two-faced, and somewhat unpredictable.
I was about to say, Sarah's pretty two-faced.
she is not. She is not. But it is the twins, so
kidding.
that's why I say
I think
that.
Gemini, well, her two-faced, Sam's two-faced, is more of like, she would avoid confrontation because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. So she'll like
But she'll talk smack.
say
behind
that
your
everything's
back.
okay
Yeah.
and just kind of live with it. If you're doing
'Cause
something that annoys her,
she is
because
very-
she doesn't want
yeah,
to.
she doesn't want to hurt anyone.
So, which is not,
absolutely. Yeah.
you know, eventually.
But she's not
but-
two faced like she'll stab you. In the
No,
back. Yeah,
no, not in a mean way.
But shapeshift, she's gonna be like form of
right.
a sponge.
Yeah, she won't open the door for you and then slap a kick piece on your back or something.
Geminis, with so much energy, Geminis can have a hard time choosing which part of their personality to display. They have so many different moods that they need a different look for each one.
Oh, that's true.
So that's
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
All right, Cancer,
Okay.
mind control.
that's dad.
Ooh, mind control.
That's dad.
Okay.
Due to Cancer's emotional, sensitive, and intuitive nature, manipulation comes easily to them. Confrontation is not their style, so ideally they prefer to win an argument with as little disagreement as possible.
I'll tell you what, he would use that during like a riffing thing.
You would be shut
Coaches.
up. It was out.
Yeah.
With
Coaches be like, I can't believe you made that.
Sit your
Mind
ass
control
down.
power.
with the power of mind control, it would be even easier for Cancers to make everyone agree with them. And that's okay because Dad is a sweetheart.
He is.
So
And
he
he would
never
just do
use
it just
for
to
evil.
keep the peace. He wouldn't
would
be
do it to
like,
keep
I
the
need you to
peace.
do what I want.
It's true.
It's
Well,
true.
although I'm pretty sure he would maybe
Empty the dishwasher.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he would use it to make his like empty
That's
the fire or
hilarious.
something.
Empty the dishwasher. That would
Yeah,
be.
that's all it would be.
You know, he told me last night he was roughing, and this coach did actually yell at him a couple times
Bitch.
because he
Not my father.
He disagreed with the call, and your dad, it's just very, he's pretty mild mannered, so he just lets it go. He doesn't really say anything. He lets it go unless it gets really bad, and then he'll like.
And then he starts swinging.
Put him. And I told him, I said, man, that guy is lucky that I'm not the one on the stand because I'm gonna hurt that guy's feelings. I'm just like.
Somebody talking about you. I'm gonna hurt the
Yep.
feeling.
You need to sit down and you need to shut your mouth. You're here to coach. You're not here to yell at me.
Mom just goes with dad to all the
Yep.
games, and she's in the stands. And dad's like, I know you're not talking about you with my security team. My wife is in the stands.
I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to start going because I'm gonna have to give these people a piece of my mind if they're gonna dare yell at my husband. I don't think so.
That's my Pookie.
Yep. That's my Pookie up there.
That's
I'm gonna
my-
have to kick
that's
some
my
ass. I was like, that's it. You, me, outside parking lot
Outside,
right now.
forget it. All right, next.
Moving on.
Leo, telekinesis. Leos already know they have the power to accomplish anything. They have full control of their life, surroundings, and happiness. However, this power may go to their head as they would no longer have a need to move and would likely become too lazy to fight crime.
They can just pick up things with their mind. Is that what telekinesis is?
Yes,
okay,
you can.
gotcha.
Yeah, you can manipulate
That's
objects.
funny. I think that's your grandma. That's funny.
That is funny. I believe that's listener Kate
Oh,
as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
All right.
Virgo, omniscience. I don't know. They know everything.
Ooh.
Many Virgos have already considered themselves all-knowing and enjoy nothing more than to share their extensive knowledge with others. Lovers of teaching and healing, Virgos are powerful, caring people who have a strong need to help others solve problems.
Oh, well, nice. Good for them.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. Next, let me scroll down a little bit. Libra. Libra gets invisibility. Libras are social butterflies and love to be surrounded by friends and family. However, in the back of their carefree minds, Libras know that the only person they really need is themselves. Conflict and negative energy may quickly drain Libras and leave them feeling stressed or exposed. In situations where they can't find perfect balance, Libras want to only disappear into the background.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Scorpio, shadow manipulation.
Oh.
Mysterious, intense, and possessive, Scorpios may come off as shy even though they yearn for power. That's Robin.
That's your Robin.
That's
That's my
Robin.
mom.
Robin and Yvonne yearning for power. The most possessive of all the signs, their calm appearance masks many hidden emotions, like the
It's
werewolf.
True. Well, yeah,
Like the
it's true.
werewolf.
Robin is just literally the most chill person I probably
And
know.
thoughts. It's true.
That's a hoot. That's a hoot.
Scorpios already love to watch life from the shadows, quietly observing others. They simply want to stay out of the limelight and live a private, passionate life filled with special people.
Oh my gosh.
A private, passionate
life.
That's a hoot.
Whoa.
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh, I'm dead. Okay.
All right. And then we've got Sagittarius.
Here we go. Here we go.
This is you.
Now we're getting to the important one.
Yeah, this is my sister and me both.
It's
Yes.
true. Teleportation.
Yes. That's the one I want.
That's the one I want.
Yes.
Sagittarius have restless souls and seek adventure.
It's true.
A fan of new experiences, Sagittarius are bored by tradition and wish to explore cultures unlike theirs. They love to learn about everything that is beyond their typical mindset. The ability to teleport anywhere instantly would please Sagittarius, as all they really want is an escape.
It's so true. Not necessarily an escape. There are so many places I want to go. There's so many
But you don't want to
things I
stay
wanna
there
learn.
because you don't want to be
Nope.
in a hotel that might have
Bed
bedbugs.
bugs. I don't want to stay in a hotel. I want to just pop there, do my thing. Guess what? Pop home, sleep in my own bed.
It's true.
Perfect.
We need to someday, because I'm not gonna talk about bedbugs again today.
Nope,
because
we're done. We're done.
Good lord.
Moving on.
But someday maybe we'll do a crash course, and this is what you need to do when you go to a hotel, because you need to check, because you
It's
do
true.
not want this
It's
to
true.
happen
Listen,
to you.
Put that in the leftovers. We will help
Yep.
you out. We will help you out.
It's true.
We got it down to a science.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. Up next,
Okay.
that's a teleportation.
Oh,
or
Capricorns.
Capricorn. That's for the main characters in the room. On theme, time control.
Time control. Oh,
Not-
nice.
Not to
On
be
theme.
mistaken for time travel, Capricorns would have the ability to stop, slow, reverse, or fast forward through time.
You could do all of it. Wow.
These people have big goals and yearn to be successful in life. The ability to control time allows them to plan out their every move or skip through the boring parts of life. They could pause time at their peak and live their best life forever if they wanted. Honestly, I just need to pause time so I can get everything I need to get done.
It's true.
Done.
Pause, get it all done.
It's
or I'm
true.
gonna go back and get me some lottery numbers, and then and then we're good.
Now we're talking. I want to be successful, easy
Exactly.
peasy, beautiful.
Okay.
Easy peasy, beautiful.
Easy peasy. Beautiful. I don't think that's. The
I'm pretty sure they should change it.
Maybe she's bored with it.
Maybe it's peas. Aquarius.
Okay,
All right,
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Here we
Aquarius.
go.
This is
About time.
About time we get to live.
clairvoyance. You can see the future.
Ooh.
Okay, well that's horrible.
Progressive.
Tell you
Hold
what.
on now. Let me. Progressive Aquarius are trying to revolutionize society and bring change to the world. In addition to shaping our society's future, Aquarius already have strong intuition and would get much more done if they knew about the future beforehand. That is you. You want to save the environment. You could look
Get this one.
forward
It's
and
true.
be like, this is what we do. This is how we
And
fix it.
Guess what? Your sister can stop time.
I got you.
Y'all can work together.
No, because I'm like,
Pretty
I swear to
amazing.
God, is it
You're
in,
teleporting us.
Yeah.
is it in
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
York that has like that global warming clock where it's like we only have like a little under 5 years.
5 minutes, probably.
Probably down to 5 minutes after this summer. This summer was the hottest recorded summer.
Good, good.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more. Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. We can't forget Pisces.
Pisces. Healing powers.
Oh, nice.
As Pisces tend to forgive everyone who wrongs them, they tend to be taken advantage of more often than some others. Pisces are emotionally forward, loving, and trusting. Though forgiving and forgetting is no big deal for them, they only wish they weren't so easily damaged by others.
Here's what's funny. As soon as you said that Pisces has healing powers, my first thought was, I got to make friends with a Pisces. And
you
I'm
know
like,
what?
oh no, I'm about to take advantage of that.
Skylar's a Pisces.
Do you
Who's a Pisces?
Sky.
Oh, Sky.
Sky? Do you know who else is a Pisces?
Who?
J-Dog.
Oh, J-Dog.
Thank God.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God.
The healing powers. That checks
Healing
out.
powers.
I think my brother Dan is also a Pisces now that I think about it.
thank
Beginning of March, right?
On February 23rd through March 21st.
That's my brother. There we
Yep.
go. Got it. I got
There
several
you go.
hookups. I got several connections.
Hookups. And we got shadow manipulation with Robin. We got
Mind control with Dad.
Mind control,
Mind control dad.
Sam's
shape-shifting.
shape-shifting into whatever.
Listener Brittany is
Last
Taurus.
one. We
so
get a whole
some,
Incredibles
we got
team.
some weather
Oh,
manipulation.
excellent. She can make some good weather for us.
Do you know anybody who was born between March 22nd and April 19th?
My brother Tom.
He's got super strength.
Oh, super strength. Excellent,
Mm-hmm.
excellent.
Honestly,
And
I
then,
bet it would help with his back or something.
Let's see.
Right, he needs
Listener Kate's got the telekinesis.
Oh, excellent. excellent.
Do we know any Virgos August 23rd to September 22nd?
Yes,
August.
my nephew is in there.
Which nephew?
Jason.
Okay, he's the know-it-all. He knows everything
Oh, he
about
knows
omniscience.
everything. Oh,
Did we
yes.
say Libra September 23rd, October 22nd?
So
Oh, that's Emily.
Emily's in there.
and Doug.
And Doug.
They got invisibility.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Okay.
All right, good. We got the
I
whole,
think my
the
brother
whole
Joe's
team.
good,
The
too.
whole group.
I have
back
so many
together.
brothers that,
So-
and we all were born in different months of the year.
Yeah.
My mom loved that actually. She was like, out of
It's
there were
pretty good.
7 of us that none of us had the same month, so she thought that was pretty awesome.
That's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
So very
Well,
cool.
well, let's. That's that, and let's move on to.
That's that.
That's that. Fuck, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
still
Oh, I literally, my eyes feel so happy.
But we were going to talk about
We decided to talk about
Larry.
my father-in-law or your grandpa, Larry.
Larry.
If you don't know my father-in-law, Lawrence Wilhelm, he's
He's the best.
the best. He's. I've never met anybody who can be positive in pretty much any situation. I've never seen him angry. I don't think in my life. And I've known him my whole life.
Right. We talked about this, that you
did
and
we
Dad
talk
have known
about
each
this?
other.
Yeah.
Well, when Dad was on, we talked about how you guys have known each other your whole lives, which
Yeah.
is a pretty amazing, love story.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. But our moms were friends in high school, and yeah. and-
Grandma was in Mama's wedding,
Yep.
and yeah.
So
So
yeah, I can remember being over at their house playing when I was a kid.
I think this is probably true about most people you meet, that there's never another fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
But there really is not another Larry Wilhelm.
There's not.
Truthfully.
He's never met a stranger.
It's true. It's true.
I'll say that statement Ashley says about me sometimes. I'm like, no, I absolutely have met strangers. My grandpa has never met a stranger.
If we go somewhere and he doesn't know someone, he will before we leave. He will have made a friend before we go home.
It's true.
Yeah, he makes a friend everywhere he goes.
Everywhere.
Talk to anybody. He is the friendliest person
Yep.
probably on the planet.
They were farm people.
Grew up on a farm. Never finished high school.
I think
but he had to work.
Was it his grandpa's grandpa came over from Germany? Do you know?
It was I think so.
Okay.
I don't know who came over from Germany,
think-
but they came over from Germany.
Right.
Right. The
Right.
Wilhelm's very German.
Very German.
So I worked with somebody who was from Germany, and she said, "Are you aware that your last name is a first name in Germany?" I'm like, "Yes, we know."
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, they came over, and they had, obviously had the farm, and they all worked, and
well, he never Grandpa never graduated high school,
right.
but he is so knowledgeable about fixing things.
He
We
can
talked about
fix
this.
anything.
Right.
He can figure it out.
Yeah. The job that he retired from was a maintenance man at Belleville West.
Yeah.
And he knew how to fix everything. The
Right.
plumbing, electricity, the mechanics or whatever, kind of like the mechanical structures,
Name
things
it,
like
sump
that.
pump,
He knows how to
garbage
fix
disposal,
everything.
whatever it is, he
Right.
can fix it.
He
yeah.
could fix it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he just so knowledgeable.
Well, I'll tell you this because I'm married into the Wilhelm family, of course.
Yeah.
And they grew up,
I know where this
the
is
whole
going.
farm, and they butcher hogs and whatnot.
We have sausage making day.
Yep. So your dad and I are married, just married, and we go out to butchering
Aunt
day.
Marie's farm.
Go out to the farm, and there's the cow. There's the pig. It's just been
Butchered.
but it's been shot, and it's hanging.
Yeah.
And I'm like stunned. I'm like, oh my God, this is so gross. This is horrible.
What the?
And
Because
going,
you guys were like, you guys lived in a small town. I wouldn't call you city folk, but you certainly didn't live on a farm.
no, never. I've never seen anything butchered in my life.
Ever.
And so then you go and they got the whole setup in the garage,
Yeah.
everybody's doing their part.
It's the most.
The smell of blood is,
Yeah.
I cannot get that out of my head. And then we go in for lunch and what do we have? Ham. I am now traumatized. I cannot possibly eat ham. After I've just seen this
I
cow.
will say that
I
it
keep saying
changed.
cow. This pig killed.
I will say that at some point
They
it
don't do the
switched.
whole full butchering anymore. Yeah, they don't go get.
Well,
they
not
don't,
just that.
because they used to go actually and get a couple of hogs and
I know.
Yeah.
It's not that. That's not what changed. I mean, yes, that did change,
Yeah.
but that's not what I'm discussing. We changed. We don't eat ham anymore. We eat roast.
Oh,
We make
see,
our
you know
roast.
what? If they would have ate roast, that would have been all right. So I can remember, I can't really even eat. I'm just very upset by this whole thing. The smell, I can't get the smell out of my
But
head.
then the pies came out.
Well, what Grandma says to me,
Chicken pie.
"Are you gonna? Do you want some ham?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think I can eat ham right now." And so then they kind of all laugh because they know I'm like, "This is my first time seeing this." Legit. And Grandma says, "Well, where do you think the meat comes from?" And I said, "The grocery store, like it's supposed to."
Yeah. I don't have to see the
I
process.
don't want to see the entire process.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell
My
it.
meat baby process,
yeah,
but I
no,
don't
they
want to see
changed.
the process.
Exactly.
They changed it, and now we'll just go buy some like
They
so
just
many
buy the
pounds of
ingredients,
meat.
yeah,
yeah.
with the sausage.
Now,
yeah.
because they'll just buy the meat, and then we stand there, we trim all the fat off of it, and cut it. Everybody cuts into strips, and then I usually work the grinder, which is the most. It is the most farm German because the Wilhelms are very German.
Very German.
Yeah.
And it's the most German engineering thing you've ever seen because they just got this motor, and they have a grinder,
Got
and
a
they
motor?
they took the handle off because it's just a hand crank grinder. That's what they have, and it is bolted to a large like 2x. It's not a 2x4. It's a 2x whatever. But it's a large plank of wood, and this grinder, old cast iron or whatever iron, like pure iron grinder.
Okay.
And it again, it's a hand crank. It's not like some industrial thing.
Sure.
But it's bolted to this thing, this piece of wood, and then that wood is via multiple clamps clamped onto another large piece of wood just on top of like what do you call that?
Like pork sausage wise, I think I only did like once. But if we're talking like bratwurst or summer sausage,
You do make the bratwurst and summer sausage with the
I
Holdeners.
started doing that with Dad
Yeah.
when I was like around 10. And can you imagine just like a tiny me dumping these piles of just raw
Got it.
meat on a table? And I'm trying to help mix the seasoning.
Yeah,
Okay.
mix the seasoning in.
It's sawhorse is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, the sawhorse.
2 sawhorse, right? Which is just the wood and the legs. Then they put a big old thing of wood on top of that.
Right.
And then they use clamps, metal clamps. They clamp this 2x whatever onto that, and that's where the grinder sits. And then we upgraded it because now nobody has to stand there and hand crank it because they get a motor. And then they took
rigged
the
up a
handle.
motor?
They took the handle off of the crank and just put like a little like pulley almost kind of thing, a little a little wheel.
I wish I had
And then they run a belt from this pulley to the motor, and then they just switch that on, and the motor spins, and it spins the thing. So then you just stand there. Everybody's around the table, and they trim the meat down to not too much fat, and then they cut it into these strips. And then I stand there, and I one at a time because you can only feed one because it's not an industrial thing.
Yeah,
So you just feed one at a time. Then they have a little wood mallet. Again, this is the most farmed engineering thing you've ever seen. It is.
I wonder if Scotty get.
never-
For those who don't know, Scotty is basically the guy that hosts the Holdener.
Oh, you're talking about summer sauce.
So she always
I
helps
wonder
me.
if he got a motor for the meat crank that we have over
They'll have
there.
to- So to clarify, the Wilhelms
There are
do
two.
pork sausage, and the Holdeners, who is Grandma's side.
Yep.
And Scotty is your dad's cousin.
They do.
Bratwurst and
Do
summer
bratwurst
sausage.
and summer sausage, and we love Scott's brats. So yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
But I tell you, the best thing we ever did was I think Grandpa's brother, our great uncle Art, he invested in a meat mixer.
Oh, okay.
Because it used to
He was
be
getting serious.
This is good.
and it's not like this anymore. We didn't even do
Serious
it this
beef.
year.
We
We
didn't
didn't
do it this year.
No, we haven't done it in the last couple of years actually.
Okay. Everybody's getting older. And
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But because it used to be that this was for like everybody.
We did the whole extended family get together. Everybody order how much they want, and
then
make a ton.
they'd make a ton, and then you'd freeze it. You have it all year.
They'd hang it and smoke it, and then you'd freeze it. Yeah.
And so, but they didn't have a meat mixer, so you had all this meat, and they cut all of it, run all of it through the grinder. Imagine one piece at a time, right? And one piece of the meat could be 15 links of meat.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay. And then however many of those big pieces that everybody's got one that they're cutting. Oh my God. So
it was
they're
a lot.
feeding that through, right? Now that it's ground up, then we put it back on the table and season, and then you're mixed by hand.
That's
you
what Liv would have to
thing.
help mix by hand for the brats. So that's what Scotty needs is Art got a meat mixer.
And so Art finally got the meat mixer. So once I'd grind it, then Art and Bev, his daughter, would go over and they throw it in, and they got the Colonel Sanders 11 herbs and spices. They got the thing.
Yeah, they got their recipe. They're throwing
they mix
seasoning in.
They mix it, and then Grandma and Claire and Marie, all the women, because I was the first woman.
Yeah,
excited.
You and Bev probably. Yeah,
first women that we actually did part of the butchering and all that kind of. Not we didn't really butcher, but all the
By the time you came along, got old enough.
We're very progressive.
We weren't actually butchering.
No. But they go in and they take like the meat once they add the seasoning to it, and then they give it to Grandma and then
Marie, and
they
fry it up.
And then they come out and taste it, and they're like, "Oh, needs more of this, needs more of this." Not Grandpa. Grandpa got to take a little bit raw.
Oh, I know. Eats it raw. This is fine. He says.
No, don't eat. That's some tartar or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
We always had the same
Grandma
guy
yelling at him. You're not supposed to eat that.
Right.
I was so bad. We had the same guy that had his grill that would always like try to cook it while we were processing.
Right.
Like everything
Who
through.
At Scotty's?
Yeah.
I've never gone to Scotty's.
Yeah, but Liv always went.
God.
Out there, and you always went.
Day one over there, gang. Scotty gang. No, I was kidding.
No,
but
Scotty gang.
But the guy that would grill it though, I think he passed away due to COVID.
Oh,
So very
yeah.
sad.
I might.
We lost a lot of
people.
Because a lot of it, like you said, is older.
It's everybody's getting older, is what it is.
But I was gonna say I talked about how we said that your like love story with Dad is pretty cute, pretty good.
Apparently, that's not inheritable.
Apparently, it is.
Sorry.
Apparently, it is because Grandpa has a very cute.
They have a very cute.
Grandma
It skips
have
a
really
generation.
Cute. So he got set up, and you can correct me on the facts, but this is what I believe is the case.
They told us, he was set up.
He was set up on a blind date with Grandma, and so he goes to the house, knocks on the door, and Grandma opens the door. And Grandpa said, when he was telling the story, he said, "I don't know if that's who I was going with a date that night, but that's who I was going on a date with the next night."
He's like, if that's not
And
her,
they
taking her out the next night.
Exactly.
Yep,
And so
they
they
hit it
went
off.
out. They went out. I think they saw a movie. 6 months later, they got married on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And they've been together 58 years.
Yep, 58 years this past.
Which is, I think, just adorable.
Absolutely.
So cute that I don't know if that's who I'm going on a date with that night. That's who I'm going on a date with the next night.
Yep.
That's so Grandpa.
That's so Grandpa. Grandma told me after they got married, she made something like the first night, like she cooked dinner or whatever for him. She made this dinner. And he had lost his mom when he was like 3. Okay?
Yes.
So Marie, his sister, obviously cooked whatever.
He was one of 8, and Marie was the only girl.
Only girl. Yeah.
Only
so
girl.
she kind of took
She's
over
had
and
a heck of a
became
life, and
mom.
Marie has.
Yeah, to them.
She's still around. She's 90. 95, 96 almost.
95,
I think.
So he makes this comment. Grandma makes this meal, and he makes this comment. Well, this doesn't taste like Marie's. And
Oh boy.
Grandma shut him down real fast and said, "Well, Marie's not your wife, and Marie's not cooking for you." Shut him down. And he never said another word. Whatever she put on the table, he ate it with a smile on his face.
My grandma is an excellent cook.
He is. Your grandma.
My grandma.
Oh, your grandma is the best cook. I know.
Amazing cook.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's great.
But
Because, I never was usually a meatloaf, but she got me to like
Girl,
it. And then Dad
your
made
grandma makes the
meatloaf, and I was
best
like, this ain't grandma's.
Yep.
It ain't grandma's. He said, "Well, grandma's not your fault."
No, he's
Like, what
literally.
He goes, "I know.
Yeah, I know it. Ain't nobody can compare.
Somebody gotta learn how to make meatloaf like grandma."
We'll tell you what, Emily made some pumpkin bread.
Emily
She
made
clearly
some great
inherited
pumpkin bread.
grandma's
Thank God.
skills.
Emily's got the touch.
Thank God. Sam said that she was gonna learn how to make turkey. I said, "Ashley, I need you to go over there on the. I
Oh,
need
legit.
you over there."
Oh, legit.
Well, I told Ash, I was like, "I need you over there and learn how to do it," because Ashley's an amazing
She
cook,
is a great cook.
and I know that if anybody
Oh,
can
yeah.
replicate grandma's turkey, it'll be her.
It'll be
So
Ash.
I need her to be there.
That's a good plan.
God,
That's a good
thank
plan.
God for Ashley.
And maybe that's what we
because
do.
I always love
Actually,
those
I do,
zucchini
but-
bones or something she made. Those were amazing.
And I have to tell you, since I've known this man my whole life, I'm like, your dad and I went to the same school together. You know, we're friends forever, and Larry is he's so great. He's so welcoming to anybody. Like our friends would always get together. We'd go over there and get together at their house when we were in high school, and he was just like dad to all of us. You know what I mean? So it's just like always been another dad for me. And then I transitioned to, you know, now we're dating and engaged. It's just such a comfortable, smooth transition for me. I was like, how lucky am I? Because sometimes when you're meeting your in-laws for the first time, it's nerve-wracking and it's a little uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I remember me and Ashley's parents and being real nervous.
Right. Well, even for me to meet Ash, and it's just like, I want to be a good mother-in-law, and I don't know if I am. I don't want to be the a terrible person. I want to try to be welcoming, but I didn't
the fact that
ever
like you're
have to
concerned
worry
about
about that.
already makes you like not.
Oh,
Right,
thanks.
was good. Yeah, it's a good
I want
place.
you want them to feel welcome and part of your family, and so. But
Right.
I never worried about that
Yeah,
because I already
with
was.
his,
Right,
yeah.
because
I
it's
was
the
already
actual
was.
like me mother-in-laws are the ones that like just don't care about like the feelings.
Yeah, that's
of,
horrible.
You know,
Yeah.
whoever's
And I think
coming
we're-
into the family.
I think we've both been very lucky because my in-laws are great.
Yep.
Like I know issues with my in-laws.
Yep.
And you guys I think have always been good to Ash. And
Oh, Ash just fit like a piece of the puzzle, you know.
she
and
just
just
sits
felt
right
like
in.
one of us.
we always say, because like I said, Grandpa is just he's just very larger than life. Never met a
Always.
stranger. The most optimistic person I've ever
I've
met.
never
in my
met someone
life.
so content with their life that they're happy.
Yeah.
They're truly happy with
all the time.
what they have. They've never complained.
Not once.
Yeah, no, he's truly content with his life, and so he's a very happy person because of that.
But so we always say, we stole this from SpongeBob. There's Larry the Lobster is on SpongeBob.
True.
And they do the Livin' Like Larry or whatever episode. And so we have said that forever about Grandpa.
Literally hashtag goals to be
Living
living
like
like Larry.
Living
Yeah,
like Larry.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty good. It just fit him so well.
It did. It absolutely did.
It immediately caught on and we say it all the time now. Living like Larry.
We did. We do.
Now I have a funny story. So back in I was in I think like 7th grade, Sam was in 6th grade, and you got diagnosed with colon cancer. And these were some dark times in our life.
Yep.
But the day that all started, in my mind for me, for when that like whole incident kind of kicks off, is actually a little bit funny. Because
Now.
yes. Well, because you were at the hospital.
I went to the doctor for a really bad headache, and they sent me to the hospital.
And so you worked at the school we went to. So normally we would have just gone up to your room, but you weren't there, and you had to call to say that Grandpa was going to pick us up.
Yes.
Because you obviously were going to the hospital.
Correct. I told the secretary, and she knew me obviously because I worked there, and I told her don't tell them that I'm in the hospital.
And so Grandpa was going to pick us up, and we just assumed like whatever, like maybe she had to run out to the store or something.
Yeah.
So he picks us up, me and Sam up from school, because Liv wasn't even in school yet.
No, she was out babysitting.
And he picks us from school. We get in the car. We're like, oh hey Grandpa, or school, you know Grandpa.
Yep.
And we're driving. He's like, how was school? We're like, oh yeah, it was pretty good. And he goes, your mom's in the hospital. That's I was like, oh, it's going pretty good. Your mom's in the hospital.
Larry spills the beans.
But then
Spills the beans. He threw the can of beans against the wall.
He did.
It wasn't. He spiked him on the ground.
He wasn't supposed to tell you.
He wasn't.
And you get back to the house, and Grandma's probably. I
Well,
think she smacked
we
him.
were
one.
like,
what?
We're like, what? No, what? We didn't. What? And then I think he realized he wasn't supposed to.
Oops,
He
I done messed
he was
that up.
oh no, hold on.
Look at him.
We get
Gotcha.
inside. We're, Grandma, I'm in the hospital. And she goes, Larry! Like, and whacks him. Oh. So it's just hilarious. Like,
Now you laugh,
for
yes.
for the months that would follow, it was rough.
It was rough, yeah. But yeah, I got to tell you, this is the man who would
hilarious.
come over when I was 6 months of chemo. It was, rough on your
Brutal.
on your body, and he would come over and he would be like, "What do you need? What do you want? What can I get
Yeah.
you?" And the only thing I wanted was green grapes. Isn't that crazy? And he would go to
He
the store,
started a vineyard.
and he'd no.
He would.
He would have. No,
Next thing I knew, we had him trailing out the backyard.
Man, that would be nice.
if it's true, if Tom's hadn't existed, he probably would have. No, he would run over to the store, and he's like, "I'll be right back." And he'd run over there,
Go get
come
him.
back, green
Purple grapes.
He'd bring me the grapes.
Paint 'em
Yeah,
green.
every time, no matter whatever I wanted, he'd go get it.
He'd
He'd bring it over.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, how lucky am I, to have them?
Grandpa has always been. I mean, we were over there all the time because we lived nearby.
We did.
Especially when they lived in Belleville and we lived in Belleville.
Right. Well,
over
you were
there
the
all the
first
time.
grandchild, so yeah, they were just like, oh.
Abby's stock had never been higher.
Yeah, yep, legit. So they were so thrilled to have you, around. And of course, Sam came along right after, and
Yeah.
yep,
We were over there all the time.
they didn't care. I mean, it doesn't matter. All the grandkids, they don't
had,
care. They have what now? 8?
8.
Yeah,
Plus
and
Asher.
they're just as happy to have,
Yeah.
the 8th one as much as the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
And I think I told
love
this
the grandkids
during
big time.
Pride. I think I told this during Pride Month. The whole when I had come out or whatever, we told the whole family. We hadn't told them because they're very Catholic.
Very Catholic.
They're very
more
sound in their
conservative,
faith.
and
I
didn't
was-
know how that was going to go.
I know. I was like, I knew that there was a real possibility that was maybe going to be the end of the relationship with my grandparents, and which was very depressing to
sad.
think about.
Yeah, really sad.
And so I didn't tell them until I was like, okay, now I have to, and we made Dad tell them.
Made Dad go.
And they just were like, well, we kind of figured, Grandma says, and
Unbelievable.
never batted an eye. Have loved Ash
Absolutely.
from day one, and just absolutely. So
So we were so thrilled
Absolutely.
that they were so great.
My grandparents have been around so much. I mean, we talked about how you had like the pancreatitis
Oh
and
my
gallbladder
God.
when
They
I was
kept
when
you-
I was born. Yep.
Yeah, they kept you.
So I spent a ton of time over there,
Yeah.
and whatnot, and so
They've just always been just both of them, a huge presence in our lives. So we're
Just
so
constant, yeah.
so fortunate that we have them.
unbelievably.
But I will tell you that when I was pregnant with you, we took a trip to Florida. We drove down to Florida, and we stopped in Georgia
yeah,
for the night. And
Yeah.
somehow, it is Wayne and Doug and Lynn and me and Larry and Diller. So it's
yeah,
the whole immediate family, right? I'm the only one.
Okay.
Wayne and I were the only ones married.
married.
And
So like what 6 of you? I
there's
think
6 of us.
all in one
1,
room.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And how are we in one room? I don't even know. But it was kind of like this huge room, and we're all in there.
Okay.
And Larry and Wayne and Doug are snoring to beat the band. And Dolores and Lynn and I are like, gee whiz. Like, well, who's going to get any sleep in here? Not the women. But we had, you drive so much that you're just so very tired.
Exhausted.
Right? And then
Yeah.
you're all laying in bed.
Like good Midwesterners.
Right.
Why
Like
would
good
we
Mid-
fly? It's only a
Absolutely.
16-hour drive.
Absolutely. And you're kind of overly tired, so then you get a little slap happy, right? And so we're just kind of giggling about stuff.
Yeah.
And finally, I don't know who said it, but one of them said,
Somebody
I think this hotel has a free continental breakfast. And Larry, who had been snoring and we thought was sound asleep, like sits up in the bed and goes, free continental breakfast? And we're like, what?
We got him on the breakfast immediately.
He hears free continental breakfast and like bolts up in bed like, are we going to get it right now? We're like, oh my God. So then of course we lose it. We're laughing our asses off.
And I tell you what, right now, like I think we said on the last episode, maybe at the beginning, that he's on hospice on the home care.
I don't know if we've even, we did say that
But
last time. He chose.
He's still
to- still very with it, and he chose to stop treating
and
his
he
heart
is
failure.
still like, and it's sad because he is very with it, very aware.
like mentally still very
Yes.
sound,
And his body is just
giving
breaking
out.
down.
Yeah,
But
which
to
is
this
heartbreaking.
day, he is still like that. The whole hear something doesn't
Yep.
miss a beat. Because I was over there yesterday with Sully. I
Mm-hmm.
took Sully over there, and I was telling Grandma. She was like, "What do you feed him?" Because he's a little round boy.
Yeah.
And I said, he's actually lost 8 pounds. But she's like, what do you feed him? I go, well, we give him a cup in the morning and a cup for dinner. And I go, but I think that he eats Dipper spoon a lot of the time. And I just start hearing this giggling coming from the bed.
Grandpa's laughing.
Who I thought was sound asleep is listening to Sully eats all the food. And
What
is
did he say?
cracking
Because
up.
you said you heard him in the other room, all of a sudden he goes, woohoo!
It's because he's diabetic.
Right.
And so he is.
But ice
he's
cream
been
is
on
his
a-
favorite thing, but he
He's
can't
been on
have
a
it.
very
Yeah.
strict diabetic diet
Right.
for years now, and they said that he can eat whatever he wants.
Let him eat. Yeah.
And so he's got because Grandma, of course, is still but he's allowed a daily ice cream.
Okay.
And Doug had said, "Now don't forget about your daily ice cream and whatnot." And he goes, "Oh, you're right." Woo! It's so cute.
He's so happy he can have ice cream.
I know.
Yeah.
We've got so many. We've got like they're not Dove bars, but it's like the white ice cream with the hard shell. There's fudge sickles. There's so much ice cream in the fridge right now.
But I'll tell you what, like you said, where it's like you think he's either asleep or he's just watching the TV.
Nope.
So I lean over to Grandma and she can't really hear. So I'm like, are the Cardinals playing today? What? Are the Cardinals? Before I can even ask the second time, Grandpa, who's not even facing us, no.
He knows.
He's got them scheduled memorized.
I was like, if you want to know the schedule,
Cardinal
you
fans.
just ask
Larry.
because he's got that
Yes.
TV guide down.
Oh,
He
that's
knows.
hilarious.
He knows.
You know, once when we
And
were...
that's just it. Like he's completely, which is a blessing.
Oh, yeah,
That
for sure.
That we know that we're at the end here, but he is still 100% with it. He is cracking jokes. The hospice nurse was over there on like Labor Day and whatnot, and was asking him, and she was like asking him questions or whatever about his blood pressure. He's like, well, it's this and this and this. It's usually this, and like knows all the answers. Telling her about how they've been married 58 years and they dated for 6 months. They got married on Valentine's Day. You know, he is listing all of it off.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what's going on, and I think, and the hospice nurse, she was just filling in that day because it's Labor Day, so the schedule's a little weird.
Right.
And she was like, "It has been just so wonderful being out here," because I'm sure most of the folks who are on the palliative care and whatnot at home are not nearly as with it as he is right now.
Right.
And
I mean,
so
just looking
it's
for like the Cardinals game in the hospital itself, he was still listening off like
he still knows
705.
everything. Yeah, he's on 705. Is where he's like, what channel it's on. And Grandma's like, I don't think that Memorial Hospital has
705. Right.
But so we were cracking up at that.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
no, but he was cracking jokes and just brightening her day, the nurse and whatnot. So
That's great.
it's so great.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I have to tell you, I don't know
right.
if you won't remember this because we went camping when you were
little.
a baby.
I know
It was the summer.
I may
that we
remember
had-
this
after
a
I had
little
you.
bit because
No, you were tiny.
Oh, okay.
You were still a baby, and we go camping, and we have these little water shoes for you, little tiny water shoes, because we're gonna go in the pool, and we come outside out of the camper, and you're in your little swimsuit, you got little water shoes on, we're ready to go to the pool. Your grandpa has on the exact same water shoes, same color. I have a picture of him holding you, and you both are in your little water shoes.
Adorable.
It's so cute. I went to find that pic, and I don't know. You loved being outside, loved to swim, and so camping was like right up your alley. You were all set. There's a bunch of wild hooligans over in the children's room. But anyway, but that, oh my gosh, that trip was crazy because the van broke down. We had gone into town for something. Van broke down, and so your dad and Larry are going to fix the van, and they find this guy who has this pickup truck, and he's going to give the rest of us a ride back to the campsite. And so we hitch a ride back. They take the car seat out of the van and put in the truck cab, and I think Grandma rode in there with you, and the rest of us are in the bed of the truck.
That's hilarious.
Riding back to the campground in the stranger's
My
truck.
God.
Crazy. And so then they get it fixed, and I have this picture of them, and they're like covered in grease from being under the car, and him and Wayne and your dad.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad, Wayne and your dad, Wayne and Larry. And they got it fixed somehow. We don't know, and they got back, but I mean, it was the craziest trip. And that's when they fed you a whole bunch of cranberry sauce. And you loved it then. You hate it now. So
I see you're editing the story.
I'm not gonna say
I
it.
appreciate that.
I wish I could remember. I mean, I'm trying to dig for like I could tell you a bunch of like stories with Grandma, but I'm trying to like I know like at least one like the parade where he was in for like.
Oh yeah, we'd go watch the Labor Day parade.
remember
He was
that.
always in that. And I didn't tell you my skinny, my scoop, my poop yet.
Right.
Well, let's do our
So,
sauce.
go.
We didn't say our secret sauce.
Our secret sauce, you're right. On theme. Our secret sauce
Put him
is
down.
our secret sauce is Scary Larry sauce.
I found it online. You can
Found
actually
it
buy
online.
it.
Scary Larry.
$7.99. Scary Larry sauce.
Scary Larry sauce.
So check it out.
And then
But okay, skinny scoop poop. Here we go.
Hit me.
I was looking for, there's towns that are named after people. Like there's an Anna, Illinois. So I was like,
There's a Wayne, Illinois, or Wayne,
Wayne
Indiana.
County. There's a Wayne County.
Wayne
And
County,
there's
that's
Wayne.
right.
I think there's a Wayne in Indiana too.
Yeah, when we were
But
driving.
I couldn't find a Larry. So what I found
No
was,
Larry.
as I'm looking for it, I found this person was like, "What's the weirdest name town that you've heard?" And this person answered, Hooker, Oklahoma. There's a Hooker, Oklahoma. And it reminded me of the story when you guys heard the word hooker. And Sam says, "What's a hooker?" And before I could answer, you answered,
Yeah.
"It's just a person who plays hooky." And I said, "You're right.
You're right.
You're right. We're not going to discuss that any further."
I do. Bailed you out.
Bailed you out. Thank you. Appreciate that.
God damn it.
So nothing named Larry. I couldn't find one, but I thought that was pretty funny. And then
That's pretty good.
that I
Hooker,
remember that
Oklahoma.
story. So
That's pretty funny.
it works. It works.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that's about all I got.
But I guess that's all the time we have today, folks. Well, I don't know about you, Abby, but after this, I'm gonna eat some serious beef.
Bye.
Bye.